What's good, everyone? You are tuned in to Raggedy Crimes and Chaos, where dreams meet reality checks. I'm your host, and today we're talking about Riza Baluchi, a 51-year-old ultra-marathon runner who tried to cross the Atlantic Ocean in a homemade hamster wheel made of buoys and wire 4 times. Let's get into this absolutely insane disaster. Alright, so this is Reza Baluchi, 51 years old, Iranian born, living in Florida. And Reza is an athlete, ultramarathon runner, cyclist, world record holder. He runs around the perimeter of the United States, over 11,000 miles. But Reza has a bigger dream. He wants to run across the Atlantic Ocean to London in a homemade vessel he calls his hydropod, which is basically a giant hamster wheel. Let me describe this thing. It's a metal drum wrapped in inflatable buoys, aluminum frame, with paddles on the outside, and Reza runs inside it like a hamster. The running turns the wheel. The paddles push through water. Reza estimates he can reach 4 to 6 knots. That's about 5 to 7 miles per hour in the ocean. The Coast Guard has a different name for it: the hamster wheel of doom. Reza's first attempt is in 2014. He sets off from Pompano Beach, Florida. His plan? Run to Bermuda, then Puerto Rico, then back to Florida, tracing the Bermuda Triangle. About 3,000 miles total. He makes it 185 miles north, about 70 miles offshore off St. Augustine, and the Coast Guard stops him. He's fatigued, activating distress beacons. Temperatures inside the bubble are hitting 120 degrees. He's cooked. Coast Guard rescues him. The rescue costs $140,000. Helicopter, C-130 airplane, ships. His hydropod is left adrift, gets damaged beyond repair, being towed back. Reza spends 2 years working on a crabbing boat. Saves $22,000. Builds a new hydropod. In 2015, the Coast Guard denies him permission to go. They issue a captain of the port order. Basically says, don't do this again. Reza does it anyway. 2016, he sets off again. Coast Guard intercepts him off the coast of Jupiter, Florida. This voyage is manifestly unsafe. You need to come with us. Reza refuses. Stays in his bubble for a day or two. Then a cold front knocks the bubble on its side. Reza activates his beacon. Coast Guard rescues him again. Reza tries again in 2021. This time, his hydropod washes ashore near St. Augustine. Flagler County deputies find it. Flagler County deputies find him. He claims he's raising money for charity. Headed to New York. Deputies tell him to stop. He does, for a while. August 26, 2023, Reza sets off again. This time, he's a nautical miles. This time, he's 70 nautical miles off the coast of Georgia, headed to London. And Hurricane Franklin is headed toward the east coast. Coast Guard spots him. Sir, you need to abandon this voyage. It's unsafe. Reza refuses. I'm not leaving. Sir, there's a hurricane coming. I'm not leaving. Officers try to board his vessel. Reza pulls out a 12-inch knife. If you try to take me, I'll kill myself. The Coast Guard backs off, stays nearby, monitoring him. They try again the next day. Reza displays 2 knives this time. I'll hurt myself if you board my vessel. Then he says something that gets everyone's attention. I have a bomb. Officers see him holding wires. They immediately contact the U.S. Navy Explosive Ordnance Disposal Unit. We need help determining the blast radius. This is now a major situation. A second Coast Guard cutter, the Campbell, arrives. They send a small boat with food, water, and hurricane predictions. Reza, a hurricane is coming. You need to leave. Reza refuses. But then he admits something. The bomb isn't real. August 29, 2023, Day 4 of the standoff. Coast Guard finally convinces Reza to leave. He boards their vessel. No bomb, no injuries. On September 1st, they bring him ashore in Miami Beach. He's charged with obstruction of boarding, violation of a captain of the port order. Released on $250,000 bond. With one special condition. You may not go to the ocean or board a vessel on the ocean. Reza's bond hearing is wild. The judge reads the list of his previous attempts. 2014, 2016, 2021, and now. Mr. Bellucci, why do you keep doing this? I want to inspire people, raise money for charity by running across the Atlantic Ocean in a hamster wheel? Yes, Your Honor. The judge sighs. The Coast Guard has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars rescuing you. I never asked to be rescued. You activated distress beacons. That was an accident. The judge is done. You're not going back in the ocean, period. So, what have we learned from today's Raggedy crime? Lesson 1. If the Coast Guard stops you 4 times, maybe your plan isn't safe. Lesson 2. Hamster wheels are for hamsters, not humans, and definitely not for ocean crossings. Lesson 3. Threatening the Coast Guard with fake bombs will not help your case. And honestly, I respect Reza's determination. Most people give up after one failed attempt. Reza tried 4 times. That's commitment. Misguided, dangerous, expensive commitment. But commitment nonetheless. Reza's case is still ongoing. But one thing is clear. He's not allowed near the ocean. And the Coast Guard is very thankful for that. Alright, that's it for today's episode of Raggedy Crimes and Chaos. If this made you appreciate conventional transportation, same. Planes exist for a reason. Until next time, stay safe out there and please don't build hamster wheels. I'm out.